Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond, powered by Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority and inspiring বাংলাদেশ কর্তৃক আয়োজিত এই প্রথম একটি 3 দিন ব্যাপী একটি প্রোগ্রামে আপনাদেরকে ইনভাইট করছি। The whole idea is to talk about skills, startups and investment. So আজকে আমাদের থার্ড সেশন প্রথম দিনের, এবং প্রথম দিনের থার্ড সেশনে আজকে আমাদের ডিসকাশনের মূল টপিক হচ্ছে essential youth skills in 21st century. I'm inviting you everyone, and I would like to invite everyone, those who are going to watch, and I would like to invite all of our speakers in our panel. I'm inviting first Mr. Shafiqul Islam, Director of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. Welcome, sir, in our panel discussions on essential youth skill in 21st century. And I'm inviting our guest from India and Australia. I'm inviting Vandan Negi from India, and I'm also inviting Miss Aanchal Andrews from India. I'm inviting Mr. Hemi Hossain all the way from Australia. He is also an NRB
In our
living
panel
in
discussions.
Melbourne. And I'm also inviting our remaining two guests, those who have just joined, Mr. Abhishek K from India, and our very own Mr. Shourav Islam from Bangladesh. He is the founder and CEO of FarmersMarket.Asia. So I'm inviting everyone into our panel discussion, and with the permission of our Honorable Mr. Shafiqul Islam, sir, I would like to open this session for everyone. So, should we start? Yes, I think sir is muted. স্যার আপনি মিউট হয়ে আছেন।
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Imran, and the Inspiring Bangladesh platform for the organizing this session. I must say this is a timely initiative for us. That we know that it is the this is the era of fourth industrial revolution, and the world has already passed the three industrial revolution. All of you know that the first revolution was it was based on the mechanization production,
I
and
must say
second
this.
was is there any problem echoing?
I'm muting
And
other
the
people.
second
Yeah, you can
okay,
carry on.
and the second was started in 1870, and that was electric power to create the mass production, and third was started in 1969, and it was based on the electronics, telecommunication, and of course the computers. And the fourth one is now that we are talking about the fourth industrial revolution, which is based on the third revolution, which is mainly the internet is the most important thing in this era. And this fourth industrial revolution is shaping the world, and worldwide economics are based on them. If we look, the gap between the third and fourth industrial revolution is shorter than the first and second one, and the second and third one. This shorter gap is one of the reason for skill set gap as technology is changing. So the essential youth skill in 21st century, it is the most important topic, and this is the very crucial issues for Bangladesh, and I think it is the issues of the world, and Asian country like Bangladesh, it is very, very important. I could say that we learn how to use computer, mobile, even telephone, but our generation of this era, they did not need to learn. If they, we have seen they automatically use those kind of equipment. Sometimes I think that they are inheriting it, but in our when we have started that we learn how to use the even telephone. Our dependency on machine is increasing day by day, which is changing our mental makeup and behavioral change.
Right.
This COVID situation is also changes the business modality and increases the technology dependency. And it's also affect the influence the skill set that to survive in this area, just technological know-how is not sufficient. We need also the cognitive ability and life skill, a life skill such as interpersonal communication, financial literacy, teamwork, and creativity. If we say the broader set of the technology, science, technology, engineering, and math is very important. And another thing, the entrepreneurial ability is much more important in this era.
Right.
That there are the variety of 21st century the skill, and we need to workplace ranges from the leadership to entrepreneurship aptitude. Specific skill are also important in certain circumstances.
Thank you,
That
sir.
there are lot of skills, and our other speaker will also discuss on that.
Exactly.
And I'm as
Exactly.
I'm talking from the High Tech Park Authority, and the High Tech Park Authority is the government organization. I want to say that what we are thinking and what we are the initiative we have taken from our government.
Right.
And
Right.
before that, I could say that why we are facing this skill gap, that is common critical issues for all the nation. And if we say that the in Bangladesh we have 170 million population, more than 65% is youth, which is a huge number. This number is larger than the entire population of many countries. But many countries are now suffering from aging problem, and we could take the advantage from the weakness, but we didn't in that position. And we could boost up our economy by utilizing our human resources. We could be the
Right.
leader of some sector as government is creating other favorable factors, and as we have huge number of resources, human resources.
All
In
right.
Bangladesh, every year more than 4 million graduate are passing out. But question is that are they skilled, and are they ready for the market? The million of young people are failing in between the cracks between the skill gap, a mismatch of skill, and they have acquired, and the skill demanded by the today's employer. When
Right.
young people are sidelined, then due to mismatch of their skill, it is the loss of the country. So our government that
Sir, we will come back again to you, sir. And with this note, we are going back to our other panelists from different part of the world. I'm going to Miss Aanchal Andrews to know more about what are the preparations India is taking to face the upcoming challenges of 21st century. As you were dealing with the skills and youth, so we would like to know more about from yourself, Miss Aanchal Andrews. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for being here as well. So, first things first, we need to understand what do we mean by 21st century skills. By 21st century skills, we refer to those skills which are required today and for the future for an effective workforce and an effective nation. So, according to me, what I feel are the three critical skills that are required currently, and what India is also promoting right now, are learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. Those three skills are uh, vital at the current time. And when I talk about learning skills, I'm talking about four different areas within learning skills, which India is also taking forward. And I believe that the world globally, we are kind of coming to the larger platform as well and strengthening ties with different nations for the same. So, the first learning skill we're talking about is critical thinking. Critical thinking is about coming up with your own opinion. So if you are youth and you are putting together a research together, you're putting together a business, or you're putting together an organization's plan, then what's the first thing you require to do? You require to study a topic, a subject, and then look at an argument which is exactly opposite to that topic. So by argument, I'm not talking about a tussle. I'm talking about a discussion that would take place for a particular topic. This helps you arrive at an individual opinion on what needs to be done. So that is what I understand critical thinking is all about. Secondly, is creativity. So creativity obviously facilitates learning purely because what is creativity once again, and how do we implement that? So creativity is converting absolute ideas to reality. So as sir was saying, Alexander Graham Bell, who created the telephone, in fact, what did he have in mind? He had the idea in mind that I should be able to communicate with somebody far away from me. So similarly, currently, what are we doing? We are being creative. He had an absolute idea, which he converted into reality as a telephone. The third aspect is collaboration, which promotes our learning ability, our learning skills. So by collaboration, I mean it's very different to a partnership. So a partnership is where there is a direct financial sharing, whereas a collaboration is not that. It's where parties come together and join hands, moving towards a particular goal. So that's what I believe collaboration is about. The fourth learning skill thing that propels learning skills is communication. So there is verbal communication, tone of voice, voice modulation, intonation, syntax. There is body language. There are hand gestures. There are eye movements. There are facial expressions. There are so many things. Did you know there are 125,000 facial expressions that each individual has? Anyhow, so communication also helps us propel our learning skills. The next is literacy skills. By literacy skills, it goes back to what Shafiqul was also mentioning, which is having the ability to regurgitate information, and information is the key area here. Regurgitate information like facts, figures, data, and statistics. So if you're able to do that, that would be definitely showing some sort of literacy at your end.
Awesome.
There is media. There just a few more points.
Yeah,
Then there
please.
is media. Media. We talk about social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You have to be able to use those platforms. And the third is technology. Without technology, none of that is possible. And in the current time, which you were talking about, Imran, COVID-19, the unprecedented time which is here today, and how we must move forward is basically maximizing what digital leadership is all about. There is something known as digital leadership, leadership online. Right. And the last is life skills, which I was talking about, which consists of flexibility, which is to have adaptability, having the ability to adapt, just like a river flowing through a stream flowing through. So flexibility is critical. Then there is leadership, which I believe everybody can talk about over here as well. And there are two types of leadership. There's authentic leadership and pseudo leadership, right? So I mean, there are several types of leadership, but these are the two key, which is in focus currently right now today. So one should strive towards being genuine and an authentic leader rather than a pseudo leader, which is a tyrant of history, right? Next is taking initiative, which ties into being creative as a life skill, taking initiative. And after that is productivity. By productivity, I mean listening to yourself, having the ability to listen to your biorhythms and say, okay, at this point of time, I am most effective during the day. This point of time, I'm least effective. So when I'm most effective, for example, I'm an evening person, I'm most effective in the evening. So I'll keep all my events in the evening, all my training programs in the second half of the day rather than the first half. First half, I'll give instructions to my team and tell them what needs to be done. So that is productivity. And lastly is social skills, which ties into communication skills. Having the ability to network with people, maybe online or offline, that is what I would say is critical. I know we've got short amount of time right now, but
Yeah.
to sum it up, it's learning skills,
We'll come
literacy.
back to you again, Anchal. So we will again come back to you. So don't
All
worry.
right.
We will talk more about it. And if this note, we are going to Mr. Hemi Hussain, all the way from Australia. He's a coach. He's a mentor of so many people, and he's the founder of Grow with Hemi. He's the writer of Fire Your Boss, one of the best selling book right now in Amazon. So I'm going to Mr. Hemi Hussain to know more about what are the essential youth skills for 21st century you are dealing with, and you are guiding your mentees regarding this. Your take on that, Mr. Hemi. Wait a minute.
Sorry. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for giving me the opportunity. So I know that we all about talking that Industry 4 revolution is coming, and we are now focusing on the two particular skill. One we are saying the soft skill, the another one we are saying the technical ability, right? In the soft skill, right? I say it a little bit different. I think that the emotional intelligence, communication skill, and all these we have been saying long time for a long time. I think this is our time to say it differently. So what I mean by that, what I say right now is we need virtual collaboration skill. So everything is in online. So our students, our kids, our youth needs to know how to collaborate in virtually, and communication is a part of it. You need to, because the face-to-face communication and online communication is two different things, so we need to learn that. Second thing, computational skill, it means how I can convert something into technical aspect. So everything we are talking about now is more about a business perspective. Before, like when we think the business, the technology regulation is coming. So you need to understand when someone is saying something, how I can convert into more about technology language. So there is a skill is required. Design mindset. I think that our youth needs to understand that everything more about design concept. That everything doesn't matter, customer avatar design or whatever design. We need to develop our design mindset. I think the social intelligence, which is one of the part missing, I found in our community at the moment. Regardless, like say we are in here, right? You came from India, I'm from Australia, he's from Bangladesh. Look at this, our communication. We are like, know each other. We're communicating with each other. We are like connecting with each other. That's so important nowadays if you want to really get the good success in your life. The last
Right.
one, I say that adaptability. Our kids are not flexible or adaptable that much what they need to be. So those are the soft skills we need in order to manage our industry revolution 4. The technology part, I think that Anchana mentioned before, is all about the digital. The world is going to be the digital. So we need to be the part of this digital world. And we need to learn the power of social media. Everything we do, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, funnel, regardless, we need to learn the power of social media and utilize that power in order to get success, in order to take our current journey to the next level. So all the
Right.
digital roadmap, then the blockchain. I know that we have been talking a lot in Bangladesh and all these countries, but my question, how many kids in our country understand the concept of the blockchain? Not many. And we know that as soon as we say the blockchain, they say, oh, is it like, the cryptocurrency? So we need to understand that, right? So there is an
Right.
opportunity to learn the blockchain. The fintech, the future is all about the fintech. So we need to understand our kids to learn about the fintech, the data analytics, the data, as much as data you have got, you are the rich. So we need to understand the concept of the data analytics, and we need to develop our kids in order to understand that how the big data is capturing the market, how they can do more analytics so the organization or a country can take the decision. So those are the skill to like I think improve in order to manage the challenge of industry revolution 4.
Right.
Regardless, India or Bangladesh or Australia, regardless, we are all in the global world now because we are in online. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Hemi bhai, for your brief comment on this issue. And as I've said, like beyond, we are collaborating with 10 countries, 10 countries, more than 60 speakers from different categories. We are sharing our expert opinions and their idea and their strategy regarding future. With this note, I'm coming to Vandana Negi from India to know more about what you guys are doing right now from Accelarize on behalf of the startups. Like what are the skills you guys are looking for, and what are the essential skills the startup needs to have right now to get invested, or like they need to be invested ready, so this is what I want to know from your side. Please, your mic is muted. Yeah,
Uh,
please.
yeah, thank you, Imran, for having me over. And like Achal, whatever Achal said and Hemi said, so they cover a lot of things. So I agree with them that in today's fast-paced digital economy, innovation is everything, and it's the future. And whether
Right.
you are an entrepreneur building a startup from the scratch or an entrepreneur working for a established company, you need to be on the front. And it essentially opens the door to a variety of career opportunities if you are a professional. And becoming a successful entrepreneur requires a specific skill set that you were talking about. So the first skill set that we at Accelarize look at is creativity, then critical thinking, and the third one is problem solving. How big the problem is that you're solving, and how real the problem is in the real world. So this is what we look at. So if I talk about creativity, the first step to entrepreneurship is having a good idea. So, like a great artist, a successful entrepreneur interprets the world through a creative lens, identifying opportunities where others don't. So, I think you all would agree with me that a creative business mindset can be developed with a proper training and education. And the founders of Facebook, Instagram are the live examples. So it's no surprise that creativity factors into this list of the skill set required for becoming successful entrepreneur or successful man in your future. This isn't just valuable learning pursuit; it's also vital to a success in university and in the workplace. So
Right.
why I say creativity matters is because the global marketplace is more competitive than ever right now, and innovative products thrive on an organization's ability to design and present them in visually pleasing ways. So there are different ways of presenting your idea. There are different ways of innovating ways of solving the problem. So which ultimately leads to creative thinking, which is nothing but, like Achal said, it's about
Yes.
thinking critically. So
Right.
so it involves, remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So, so if I say the creative thinking matters, it's because the way we think about ourselves, think about people around us, and the world affects, more than just personal experience, and it plays
Right.
a key role in defining the future of everything and everyone and the entire world. If
Thank
I
you, Vandana, for your opinion. I'll go back to Mr. Shourav Islam. He's the founder and CEO of Unifox Digital Media. Along with, he represents Google Business Group and Startup Grind in Bangladesh. Being a community leader, being dealing with so many skills amongst the youth, a huge community we are dealing in Dhaka. And I would like to know from Mr. Shourav Islam, what are the upcoming and what are the essential youth skills in the 21st century, like you are looking for? What are the things in your opinion? We'd like to know more about it.
Cool. Thank you, Imran. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. My name is Shourav, and thank you for a wonderful introduction, Imran. And I'm sorry I was a little catch up with the other words too. So, well, this is a very, very interesting topic for me today because I love this particular discussion because, to be very honest, I'm a millennial at the moment, and I have came across the time, which say, for example, 25, 26, 27, 28, and then the life begins. So when we started our life as an entrepreneur, I would say rather, when we started our life with the dream of to be an entrepreneur, when we were like just freshly graduated from university, it was all wonderful. And to be very honest, we were quite blessed to have a family behind us, helped us, shaped us to be where we're sitting today. But when actually the journey started, uh, when I really see the real world of entrepreneurship, the present, and trying to see the future, uh, to be honestly speaking, I was a little scared. At a point, I thought like whether I should be continuing this journey as an entrepreneur, or I should sit back and just just join a job and just have a settled, smooth life and income. But here we go. Uh, the reason I said the family is an important part here, because they all guide us in the right way. And same for me, my family was there for me, and they actually helped me uh, to see exactly what is next. So
Right.
rather I fear to be an entrepreneur, I actually thought to take the challenge and take the risk and face it, and then become where I'm standing today. Every day when we wake up, we see a struggle in front of us. Every day when we walk into the office, we see thousands of challenges. But every night when we went back to home, we feel ourselves a winner. We have win the day.
Yes.
So this is basically, I would say rather, to all my fellow young people who are looking into the dream to be an entrepreneur, do not give up. And Bangladesh currently at the moment is the land of mine. We have an enormous leadership ahead of us. And to be very honest, when I was a fresh graduate in 2012, back in Australia, the reason I stepped back to Bangladesh rather than staying back in Australia with a 6-digit job is because the roadmap given to digital Bangladesh back in 2009 was one of the main motivating factor for me to come back to Bangladesh. And
Right.
many people demotivated me, saying like, do not even think of going back to Bangladesh, leaving a permanent residency in Australia, and you will suffer later. But to be very honest, I'm not suffering at all, and I'm very, very happy and proud uh, to uh, to be in Bangladesh and what I'm doing at the moment. Because
Amazing.
money does not define success every time. Money is definitely one of the components that we need for our regular livelihood. That's very true. But at the same time, satisfaction. Right at the moment, today at 5:01 p.m., I am Shourav Islam is a very happy man because I'm enjoying my work. I'm enjoying my life of what I'm doing. So to all the entrepreneurs who are listening to us today, I would say that right at the moment for Bangladesh, this is a high time for us to grow. Even last webinar, I mentioned that definitely pandemic is taking a lot of toll, not only in Bangladesh but globally. But I have still a sheer fear. I mean, a strong belief that Bangladesh is going to be not 5 years backward, but 10 years ahead, because the way we have been actually able to tackle the entire situation, and definitely hats off to our Prime Minister who has this wonderful leadership capabilities, which definitely motivates us as well.
Right.
We are here today, and
Yes.
the reason I mentioned this, is if I particularly speak on the topic that Imran was asking, what's next for us? For us, fourth industrial revolution is supposed to be 10 years from now. It is actually 5 years or less, Imran, because right at the moment we as an entrepreneur we're discussing things which we never even thought that we'd be discussing. Because in Bangladesh, even 8 months back, any discussions into the business table related to data, related to business, related to digitization was quite difficult. But now, all the traditional business models are actually looking up to us. How do we convert ourselves into a digitized process?
Right.
So that's why I'm pretty confident and quite happy that, Imran, we are actually speeding up in terms of reaching ourselves to a fourth industrial revolution, not in 10 years, but maybe 4 to 5 years. At least
Exactly.
in
That
my
is
industry.
right. Right. That is the whole idea of digital Bangladesh. The dream we have, 12 years back. Like we have seen it reality right now. Like we are connecting like millions of people right now in this platform to let the people know about what we are doing it in this day. So that is an ultimate blessing. What I really want to say right now, I'm talking in 45 mbps direct broadband, fiber optic cable. So that is the ultimate achievement what we have already seen in Bangladesh, and that are the ultimate outcome of digital Bangladesh. And as you have already mentioned, this is under the leadership of our honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. With her strong leadership, we are going strong towards this goal of digital Bangladesh. With this note, I'm
Imran,
coming to, yeah,
Imran, I must add one last line for you, because
yeah,
the reason I said I was very happy today. See, what we couldn't achieve in the last 4 years, in last 1 week, we achieved it by actually connecting thousands of farmers on digital payment.
absolutely, yeah,
Now we are paying our farmers in all rural areas, from bank to Nogod, and Nogod to 2,500 farmers are paid. And my buyers
yes,
are very happy sitting in Germany, because now they can visibly see the exact expenditure of their money, and the farmers actually receiving all the money sitting at the home. So this is
right.
a really great ease
We
of
will
mind for
we,
us.
we will come into this story later on in this panel. I'll come to Abhishek K to know more about what are actually going on here from your community as you are dealing with different funding things, and what are and skills development projects, and you are dealing with startups as well. So what are the strategies right now you are following in terms of valuating a startup, or what are the upcoming skills you are focusing on in these days, Abhishek?
Thank you, Imran. Thanks, all the panelists out there. I would like to say hi to everybody and whosoever is listening me out there. Yep. Imran, as you see that the whole world is actually has gone through a biggest trauma as of now in the form of COVID-19, right? So obviously there is a lot of things are going on, right? And everybody is coming back on track in terms of the business and in terms of getting their powers back, because once your daily routine breaks up, you feel a kind of demotivated that if you are going every day, right, in your car to every day you go to office, you do your everyday work, it's a daily routine. But all of us has suffered and seen a horrible scenario out there. So the biggest strength of our culture is basically, if I talk about India or if I talk about the Asian countries and if I talk about Bangladesh, is our culture, I would say. And that strength is comes from our culture itself, right? So though we have seen, just because we have seen so many things, right? Because after India, Bangladesh has came into the picture, right? We got the freedom and all. So like if I talk about our ancestors also, they have also seen so much struggle out there in the life, and that is there in our blood also, the struggle part and overcoming the struggle part of the life itself. And that is the best part of our culture, and the same goes with the today's youth as well, right? So if you talk about today's youth, as you and Saurav were discussing about how Bangladesh is growing, same thing is happening, right, in Indian ecosystem as well, right? Indian youth is also you know pretty much I would say motivated and enthusiastic towards the goals, right? And it's good, right? The day I started speaking to you, I'm feeling a kind of a kind of synergies we are sharing.
Right,
It will create, obviously create a positive environment for the youth, for both the countries as well, right? So these are the things are going on. And at the time of pandemic, right, it was like everybody has a setback, and now everybody's ready to launch. So there are so many startups are coming in, into the area of edutech startups are coming in, there are health tech startups are coming in. Fintech is again coming to the booming stage, right? Investors, a lot of investors are taking interest in investing fintech startups. So there are a lot of opportunities which are there in next 4 to 5 months, I would say, in the startup ecosystem.
Right.
And if some founders are listening me, or if some strategists are listening me, probably it's a kind of biggest opportunity they can have in their whole life, to come shout out loud about your idea and get funded. So it's a
Exactly.
it's a kind of opportunity for you people.
Right.
So
Let me add you one thing with Abhishek. Like recently in Bangladesh, we have taken this initiative of creating a startup ecosystem, like friendly startup ecosystem, and we have seen there are different kinds of initiative giving grants to different startup. Just hearing their idea, which is feasible at the same time, it's commercially viable. Right now, Bangladesh is going in that direction into funding into different projects, and with this note, funding comes with the high tech park. Like we are more focusing into creating high tech park into different cities, different areas of our country, so that like our youth innovators, are the people, the entrepreneurs will get the support from the Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. And we have got Mr. Shafiqul Islam, the director of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. I would like to know more about from Mr. Shafiqul Islam about the initiative of Bangladesh High Tech Park and how strongly they are going towards achieving these goals in coming days. Over to you, Mr. Shafiqul Islam. Can you hear me? I think some technical glitches is happening, but we are trying to sort it out. Can you hear me, Mr. Shafiqul Islam? I think technical difficulties is here. Let me. Yeah. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, like the question I have asked about the plan of actions of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority, and what are the upcoming initiative you have taken to empower our youth, and at the same time creating a friendlier startup ecosystem in Bangladesh. If you can share your plan. You are muted, sir. Mute.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, the Bangladesh government has taken the effective initiative uh, uh, to improve all the skill set of our youth that our discussion talk about. And I could share some initiative, government initiative with you. That one of the good initiative, that human resource development, that technological skill, and the government taken the initiative to train up the youth. Both the Bangladesh has a good freelancer hub in Bangladesh, and government is providing the training facilities to the youth, and as well as for the women to develop themselves, and training are providing in the low end training and also high ended technological training like IoT, the AI, VR, and blockchain also that you talked about, and other training also. And another thing that Bangladesh government is creating the infrastructure for the training facilities, and government is providing the specialized lab in different universities. As we know that there are human resources coming from universities, so we want to create the university as a good educational institute with the emerging technology. When they come, they should come with the good knowledge on emerging technologies. Then that will be meet the market demand. And about the startup that you are talking about, startup. In Bangladesh before 2016, there was no very limited activities on startup activities. Now government has given the this is the focused area, and the government launched one project that we called it IDEA project, to given the funding facility, financing facilities to the startup. And it is, we could say that this is the unique one. And the government is also also create a company, limited company, that is the startup Bangladesh. That company's responsibility is to support a startup by financing as a venture capital. As a venture capital, environment in Bangladesh is not developed, we could say. And from Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority, we are creating the infrastructure. We are providing the space and other infrastructural facilities to the startup in each and every high tech park and software technology park. And another the important thing that currently one project has been approved, and that is we called it digital entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem. It is World Bank funded project, and in next 5 years, through this project, we will create the actual innovation ecosystem, innovation culture in Bangladesh. We will create the facilities in university. We will create the university innovation hub, and we, as well as we will run the innovation challenges program in universities as well as in our existing startup hub in our high tech park and software technology park. Another thing that the government is uh, supporting to the youth to become the leadership quality, for developed their leadership quality. We implement one project that LICT leveraging government leveraging youth through ICT. A project that we give the leadership. The different types of training was they are included in that project. One was the leadership program, and we gave them all the skills that need to be a good leader and entrepreneur in Bangladesh, in this era. That a
Right.
lot of initiative has been taken by the government, and all are going on. And every year, the government is spending lot of money for training purpose to improve the skill set of our youth.
Right. Thank you, sir. And one more thing I need to add to all of our audience and the speakers, that Beyond is powered by Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. We collaboratively initiated this project through which we are demonstrating the initiative what we have already taken, the government's initiative, at the same time public private partnership, what are the other things is coming in near future. And I'm going and coming back to Ms. Aanchal Andrews to know more about what the youth should practice to reskilling themselves, which will be essential for this 21st century. What will be your advice for the youth? Right now, there are thousands of people are watching in our platform, and more people will watch after this. So, what will be your advice for them?
Okay, so what are best
Right.
practices in the first place? Best practices are what has been most effective for you as an entrepreneur, as an organization, as a student as well. So, what has been most effective for you are your best practices, right? So, one has to really introspect within oneself and figure out what have I done right? What have I done the best? And based on that, I work on that. I work on my
Right.
strengths and take it to the next level. So I will not say that communication should be a best practice or digitalization should be a best practice. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about each individual. Each individual has to look within themselves and say, what am I really the best at? Where can I take that? That's where I think the best practices will come together
Right.
as a community, in fact. So, for example, Imran, your strength and my strength, put it together, and can you imagine
Right.
what fusion there would be? So one
Right.
has to understand what their strengths are. I would like to also put in a point, slightly digressing to Mr. Shafiqul as well, which he was talking about as part of the authority. First thing he was talking about is obviously HRM, human resource management. I believe that strategic HRM is the way forward. Human resource is a practice. It is things to do with practicality. Okay, but strategic human resource management has to do with organizing,
Right.
reorganizing, restructuring, redesigning, and so on. So, strategy is the way forward in HRM. Right now, what we are doing right now at Beyond is international HRM in the strategic framework. What do I mean by international HRM? I'm talking about nation to nation.
Right.
What are we bringing to the human resources? Right. So
Exactly.
that is what this program is as well. So that's a few thoughts I wanted to put forward to Mr. Shafiqul in part of conversation. The other part I wanted to bring forward in this discussion is also moving from a teaching experience to a learning experience. So when you are putting machines and infrastructure together and putting universities together and institutes together, moving from a teaching experience to a learning experience. So it's no more about lectures, it's no more about one person talking, but it's about the students actually and the youth coming to you and saying, this is what I think should be done through their research. It shouldn't be us telling
Right.
them, it should be them telling us.
Thank you, Achal,
That,
for your opinion. I'll go to Mr. Hemi Hussain. As you are working with digital entrepreneurship right now, as we have talked about it in our last meeting. So what will be your opinion about digital entrepreneurship? As Mr. Shafiqul Islam said, like they have already taken an initiative, a project funded by World Bank, and how our youth can be benefited through it. So what will be the best practice in Australian ecosystem point of view and your experience, Mr. Hemi Hussain? Please unmute first.
So that's a very interesting question, and I love this question. So my technology background, right? Because I used to work for one of the largest telecom in Australia in 2013-14. That time I realized that the world was going to be in digital, and because I was part of the digital strategy IT. And so from since I came from that job and started my entrepreneurship journey, I've been constantly saying that whole word of entrepreneurship doesn't work anymore. We need to be digital entrepreneur. And I think that 2020, COVID-19, now we all are in the same boat and we're saying that we have to be digital entrepreneur. And if you, I think Imran mentioned that I written a book, it's called Fire Your Boss. In the book, I said, transform your life as a digital entrepreneur. And this book is now #1 international bestseller because of this digital entrepreneurship. What I've been meaning by digital entrepreneurship, regardless what you're doing, you need to understand the technology, you need to understand the digital roadmap. Also, you need to bring your social media power in there. If you cannot bring that and if you cannot combine that, then you are out of the business. The traditional business, if you're thinking about, like in even Bangladesh, right? And I think that Shourav Bhai mentioned before, right? I've been living in Australia last 21 years, right? But I've got always have got something for my country. And I always go back because I love my country. I want to give something back to my country. And I've been running business in here very successfully. Everything is good. But I truly believe that in our country, there is a huge opportunity. The only things our kids need to understand that what's happening in the digital world, what's happening in future, what is coming, and how we can bring the technology as part of our journey. See, in about 3 to 4 years ago, every entrepreneur in Bangladesh, we were thinking about to start a physical shop, a physical restaurant, a physical business. But in now 2020, now we realize that we don't need that anymore. This is my study room actually, basically, and I've been running my office last 5 years from this room. I never go to work, very unlikely, maybe once in every week. But I've got an office in Melbourne CBD, but I don't go there because I don't need to be, because the technology can give you the flexibility to run the business from anywhere in the world. Let's talk about the few successful entrepreneurs. Let's talk about Richard Branson, right? Richard Branson runs 400 companies, 400. Okay. But where do you see him? He's always Honolulu, Hawaii, speaking, sitting on the beach. My question, how come he runs 400 companies from Honolulu when I'm busy with running one company? Because I'm not a digital. I'm a old way of running business. And I think this is our time to bring the technology and the digital together and run our business into the different level. I know in Bangladesh currently the ecosystem, the all the startup, all the entrepreneur, everyone is now. And it's a really fantastic environment, I would say, in Bangladesh right now. I think the only things our kids need to learn something, and this is something with the due respect. I think our kids need to get rid of university certification. They need to be more about focus on skill. I think we have got already many universities, many certification. It doesn't work anymore. You need to tell me what is your core skill, what can you do for me, rather than what degree you have got. I think that's the question we need to change. If we can change, and to change that, in the book I have written three things. The first thing is your mindset. Your mindset need to change, align with that. Second thing is the monetization. How you monetize with your current mindset and current product that is actually you can sell in online. And the
Right.
third thing is the whole marketing. And marketing, we know everything is digital, everything is social media, everything is the power of online. If we can combine these three M together, I think that everything is clear in front of us. We just need to be
Brilliant.
aligned with that.
In
Brilliant,
fact,
Hemi bhai. Yeah.
if I may add to what Hemi is saying, Mr. Hemi Hussain, uh, information technology organizations and distributors and manufacturers of technology, they have technology with them for the next 50 years. They have technology with them for the next 50 years. What we are
Right.
using right now is very little.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Therefore, what Mr. Hemi is saying is absolutely correct that we are walking towards the digital age. We are in the digital age and walking stronger towards that future, and we
Right.
must maximize it. And also, another point Hemi said was design thinking. That was in previously when you were talking first briefly. Design
Right.
thinking is fantastic. That needs to be done today. Problem solving, which Vandana was saying,
Exactly.
is new to design thinking. Yes.
Right, right, and I'm coming back to Mr. Abhishek K to know more about his experience regarding this. Like, as you were a community leader, you were dealing with so many in this Indian ecosystem. So, what's your experience regarding this, Abhishek?
Yeah, my experience is pretty fantastic, right? COVID-19 came as an opportunity for me. So I was sitting back at home, as Hemi sir said, that he's running everything from his office. I also sit in just in my study room, or I have made a small office at my home. I converted one of my room to my office, and everything is going quite fine from there. Right, every day goes with with couple of web meetings with some entrepreneurs, or maybe some investors, or my colleagues, or people like Imran, those who are pretty much enthusiastic to taking things away ahead, actually, right? So. Nothing has changed, but it's just the thing which has changed is I don't have to take the
Right,
pain of going and meeting somebody. So I can meet somebody on call, or maybe everything is there on digitally. And even people are signing documents, agreements digitally out there. There are certain apps which is helping you, to sign the agreements and all those kind of stuff. So it is actually a kind of good sign and positive sign, and we are actually saving a lot of our time. And for us, time is money. So indirectly,
right.
we are
Thank you,
saving
And
money
Abhishek,
as well.
increasing
and
productivity.
Shourab bhai. Yeah, like I'll go to Mr. Shourav Islam to know the story behind his the farmer got paid through fintech, mobile money, and what are the things you have worked on to take it to the next level of digital innovation or digital ecosystem. what you have said. Shourav Islam. Yes. Shourav bhai, can you hear me? Hello. Yeah.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you could repeat the question once again for me, please.
Yes, like as you have said, the success stories behind delivering the money through mobile banking from rural areas. Like you can share the stories and highlighting the key aspects of digital Bangladesh and the benefits what we are getting by reskilling ourselves. So that story behind
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Pam. Basically, we are not still at the moment. I won't say that we are in a post-pandemic situation. We are still in pandemic situation. And Jodio, we are still in the office, but definitely we have made sure that we are maintaining the all the procedures. But yes, the story that I was willing to share with you all, because we've been struggling for the last 4 to 5 years in Bangladesh to ensure food safety at the maximum level by deploying e-traceability at every level in the value chain, from farm to fork. So that is that was quite a difficult challenge for us for past few years. But well, after or during the pandemic, at this current situation, I would say it has been even easier for us. So right now, say for example, in our because we work in the agricultural sector, and my venture is mainly dealing with agricultural products and aquacultural products. In aquaculture, we mainly deal with shrimp, and in shrimp we have a lot of challenges and competition in Southeast Asia when it comes to export, and also to ensure a safe local product as well. So when I say e-traceability, e-traceability is basically one of the small innovation that we wanted to, and we are still trying to deploy into Bangladesh, that will eventually give us a huge edge as a compliance, well, for Bangladesh market as well as for the whole European market to export. Because at the moment our products are actually not branded, but mostly goes into the wholesale market. So once we have e-traceability, we are hoping that our products from Bangladesh, especially food items, will actually have the shelf. So having said that, so say for example, right now in traditional context of our business, buyers from Germany pays us into our Bangladesh account, and then we take the money cash out and goes to our people, goes to the rural Bangladesh and distribute the money in cash to the farmers. And the reason I in my previous discussion, I was thanking Bangladesh government for this wonderful rolling out of Digital Bangladesh project, because now we are actually reaping up the fruits of this beautiful project. So currently, our farmers are sending them, our buyers are sending the money to bank, and from the bank, instead of cashing it, we are actually using Nogod, which is the mobile payment service in Bangladesh with Bangladesh government, and we're distributing this money to 2,500 farmers. And since it's a project for the farmers, Nogod has actually altered their rates for the farmers, which means they're not paying high. They are paying the lowest possible amount for the as a transfer fee. And that is actually one of the key feature that Nogod has helped us with, which motivated the farmers also to start practicing digital transaction. Because the reality is quite different from what we say in the urban areas, because farmers or in the rural areas, the farmers, they are quite different from the way we think. So they are quite cash dependent, because when we are transferring money through Bikash or through Nogod, still they're quite confused how they will actually cash it out. So Nogod made it sure that the entire ecosystem from bank to farmer's hand, the cash is ensured. And as a matter of, and as a result, it's not only helping the farmers to get cash in their hands, but for us as a business, the trouble that we have been facing for the middleman, who actually, and mainly one of the key players into destroying the supply chain, are now curtailed, which means our farmers are now do not need to rely on the middleman. Instead, my buyer from Germany pays us in Dhaka, and sitting in Dhaka, we can pay our thousands of farmers in different areas in Khulna. shrimp farmers. And once they get the payment, they're sending the money back. Sorry, they're sending the shrimp back to our factory. Factory receive the fish and then export to Germany. So this is a simple ecosystem now we can fully digitize, so that this simple financial solution helped us not only to ensure easy transaction, but also greatly into food safety. Because now, since the fish farmers are not dependent on the middleman, now our people can directly control the quality of the shrimp. So here is the point where we actually use the technology in two various ways: fintech and agrotech. So financial technology ensures smooth payment, and once it's smooth payment, because money matters at the end of the day. So once they have the money in their hands, and we get a good quality fish. And the reason I mention this, because there's always a question that we usually talk about, that our farmers are giving us fish, shrimp, by putting in injection or lead. This is the wrong thing. Farmers are working their day and night very hard to produce the best of the best products, because this is like their baby. Why would they do anything wrong with their own babies? Because every single shrimp they treat as their own babies. So the farmers in the field producing the best quality shrimp, but when we break the value chain, there becomes a problem. So once we have now the solution, once we deploy the technology in the system by automating the supply chain, now we can actually receive the direct fresh fish from the field up until the fork. And that's why we say that once we can actually roll out the whole project into every sector of the agriculture and aquaculture sector, we would be able to have farm to fork. And that is one of the reasons.
I think some technical difficulties.
I must digitally empower. Hello?
Yes, yes. We can hear you clearly. Shourav bhai, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you back. Sorry about that. So that the reason I was actually thanking Digital Bangladesh earlier, because it has actually empowered a lot of rural farmers, I would say, rural people who are now digitally empowered. So it's no more something that we actually dream of, but it's a reality. Because I myself travel to different parts of Bangladesh, the rural areas of Bangladesh, and what I see myself, Imran, is amazing. So it's no more that we are seeing nice ads in television that, we are changing the Bangladesh and it's a dream world, but it's actually reality.
Right. It's actually reality, right? Thank you, Shourav bhai, for your amazing, inspiring stories, which will inspire everyone, I believe. I'll go back to Mr. Shafiqul Islam, sir, to know more about the upcoming initiatives of BHTPA and others things. What do you need to mention for our audience? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Actually, Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority is working to develop the infrastructural facilities for the investor. And now, currently, we are working to develop the 28 high-tech park and software technology park in the country. And some park are now operational, and it is vibrant. And our young people is working over there. And one most important thing that we have seen, that most of the entrepreneur is young, and we are very hopeful. And there is a positive change in everywhere. You have seen that Mr. Shourav Islam discussed about that our present government has taken very effective initiative and a good initiative, and Digital Bangladesh and government is and this is not a slogan. Government taken the has given the emphasis to make it success. So we are getting the benefit, and in this COVID situation, our GDP is not affected so much negatively. So it is very important, and we are hoping that the upcoming year we will get the more success. And we are working to develop the innovation ecosystem in the high tech in Bangladesh, and High Tech Park Authority is providing the infrastructural support, and government is providing the financing support, as there is no venture capital activities, venture capital facilities. But most now we are seeing that many companies, some company has been formed to support the startup, and there is some accelerator, and there is a positive movement, and there is we have seen that there is the good movement, positive movement in that sector. And one thing I could say that Mr. Hemi Islam rightly said that we are all things are going to be digital, and business, commerce, and entertainment, all things that we are thinking that there is a change, and it is the reality, and so we have to prepare for that. And our government, and our prime minister is very keen about that, and we got the uh, leader, uh, our as a advisor Sajib Wazir, and our young minister, the minister, and the good leader is over there, and so political, there is the political commitment, and this is not only the commitment, and government is providing the support, and providing the money, that is the key factor. And so we are implementing so many projects, and government has allocated the money to construct, to set up more 11 innovation, the incubation and training center in 11 district, and that project also launched. And so we are working, government is giving the all out support. And one thing that for the communication skill that you are talking about, and by this time the government has set up the uh, lab in different school, and there is 65 language lab in all the district level. There is language lab, and nine, there is the facilities to learn 9 languages. So there is the initiative, and we are hopeful that digital Bangladesh will be this initiative will get more success, and in future we will get more success. And
Yes.
we are about the challenges of the fourth industrial revolution, particular regarding the HR related challenges. And we are very aware of the about the skill set of the 21st century, and government is prepared to face the challenges and intended to exploit the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your amazing remarks. We're coming to the end of this session. We will close with all of your closing remarks. I'll start with Vandana to know more about her opinion on the essential youth skills for 21st century. What will be your advice for the youth, those who are watching and going to watch later on? Vandana.
Great. So my advice to the youth here would be do a lot of introspect, ask questions. Questions like, "What are your thoughts on the topic?" Don't go by the herd mentality. Why? Ask question like, "Why do I think like this? Where did I learn this information from?" And what does the information imply? Should I view it differently or not? So all these things, think about it, think critically. Plus, do a lot of collaboration, networking. It helps you a lot in broadening your horizon and
Right,
looking at the things and solving the problem which is real in the real world. So my
right.
advice would be that.
Thank you, Vandana, for your short and precise advice. As we believe, the ultimate target of Beyond 20 is to create a sustainable platform amongst 10 countries from different speakers, 60 plus speakers, and other partners, sponsors, and government officials, so that like we can host different kinds of knowledge sharing session in coming days. So yeah, that is the ultimate things that you have mentioned already. I'll go to Achal Andrews to know more about her thoughts on that. Achal, you need to unmute your mic.
Thank you so much, Imran, once again. Um, all right. So, if you ask me what is my suggestion right now for to culminate everything that we have discussed so far, is look within yourself, be inward, and then be outward. Because what really matters is your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. Because all three of these are reflected digitally and on ground as well. So, to be an authentic leader means to watch your thoughts, emotions, and behavior. If you can do this, then your collaborations will want to take you several steps
Thank you,
forward.
Achal. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Achal. I'll
Yes,
come to
Imran.
Hemi Hussain, to know more about his thought.
Okay, so one thing I want to say, right? Someone asked me this question in a couple of months ago, and he said that when did you born? And I said I born 2020 February. And he said what? And I said yeah, that's right, because I think February 2020, before the February 2020, there was a world and there was an economy that doesn't exist anymore. It is a completely brand new world, brand new economy. We need to be part of it. So there are three kind of people at the moment I can see in the market. Someone, he's an observer, just observing, doing nothing. You can be observer, that's okay. Second kind of people, waiting that corona will go. Corona will go, I don't know when, but they're waiting. So you can be these two, but I can tell you, you will survive in corona, but after corona you cannot survive. That's pretty sure. I'm damn sure. The third kind of people who are currently taking massive immediate action. Massive immediate action, not action. Action is not good. Massive immediate action. So what does it mean? That means they are asking three questions. What do I really want? What do I really want? That's first question. Second question, why do I want it? Why? And the third question, how I'm gonna do it? An answer I can give that to him, give that to them. Do something around digital. Ask why, because the world is going to be digital. How are you gonna do that? Get your skill done right now, and that your massive immediate action. So that's what I can say.
Awesome, awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Hemi for your amazing observation regarding this. I'll go to Abhishek K for his thought.
Yeah, I would like to share one of the thing which I just it has been introduced to me through my research itself, because I read a lot. So I go to the some websites and I read blogs as well. And now I'm going to buy Hemi
Oh, thank
sir's book as well, right? So because I think it would be having a lot of knowledge out there. I want to talk about the to the youth out there. There is a term called positive self concept, right?
That's very good.
So before you go to
Yeah.
learn any yeah, so before you go to learn any skill, there is something called positive self concept. Unless you are not positive in your thoughts, you are not positive in your approach, you are not positive the way you talk, you walk, and you know meet people out there.
Abhishek, like we can't hear you. Can you fix your mic or like speaker? Yeah, now unmute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hello. Yeah. So I was talking about the positive self concept. So this is the most important thing which the youth need as if now, because positivity, like I have seen so many people talking positive, and I have seen so many people falling also. The people, those who were giving lectures on positivity, they also done few mistakes in their life, and obviously it comes into the picture because it's a digital world. So if you're talking positive, right, and if your actions are not positive, we're gonna watch you, right? People are watching you out there in the world. So in today's world, the most important thing which a youth need to understand, that he or she should have a positive mindset, right? And as Vandana said, and Shafiqul Islam sir, right, said, and Shourav also said, like, there is a part of networking. If we are sitting on a one podium and we are talking, so it is a part of networking. Somewhere, like some of the other met each other, right, through different social media platforms, or maybe say in whichever event we met, right? So from now onwards, I think if we have the positive mindset, so that these relationships will go on, right? Maybe Achal will network with Shafiqul sir, or maybe say Hemi sir. I know Saurabh. I'm meeting Saurabh first time, face to face, right? So this is the kind of word we are actually have entered, so we have to accept it, right? So if you will accept this with a positive mindset, right, it will create path for you, right? So it's a very I would say a very bed of roses kind of situation for all the youths out there. It's just that they need to think in a very positive manner
Thank
and a very creative manner as well.
Thank you,
So this is
Abhishek,
my remark.
for your honest remark, and I'll go to Shourav Bhai for his closing remark. What's your idea on this?
Thank you, Imran, and thank you, everyone. Uh, it was a wonderful session, and I definitely I heard of
It
your
was a
points.
wonderful session, I must say. Like so many comments already we have seen. Credit goes to you
Exactly,
guys.
exactly. So wonderful. It's a wonderful event, and I'm very glad to be part of this. Thank you, Imran, for inviting me for sure. And well, but from what I would like to say from my point of view as a small entrepreneur is actually uh, we're still in pandemic situation. That's true, but as Abhishek and Hemi Bhai was mentioning, we actually have this is a new life for us, and I could see at least in my community, I mean entrepreneurs community, that everyone is very busy these days. They're actually looking for opportunities. So post pandemic, or current situation during this pandemic, actually, we should not give up. We must look forward, and in fact, new opportunities are opening up. So it's definitely, I 100% agree with Hemi Bhai. This is a restart. We have just reborn, and we must grab the opportunities. And previously, we used to see window as a small opportunity, but now window itself is very large, very big. So I must say that we must look back to technology as a blessing, as part of globalization. And from the this point of view, the world is your market now. So it's not Bangladesh, it's not India, it's not Thailand. So me sitting in Bangladesh, now I can actually easily think of creating a market in Germany, in Finland, when competition was there, competition is there, competition will be there. But there's always a first mover advantage. So this is a high time that we must step back and look into ourselves, into our own capacity. Having said that, what I mean is that we must not waste time on what I don't have. We must spend time on ourselves now and thinking what I have as a strength in myself, and I must give it 100% into convert it into a strength and convert it into a monetization tool. So, and that's how basically we all will be able to contribute to the economy, not to the national economy, but to the global economy. And that's how I would like to end. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shourav Bhai, for your closing remarks. And I must say, like, the amount of response we have received in this particular session is huge. Like, there are so many comments, so many people are watching right now, and I believe after this live, this conversation will be available in our Facebook, YouTube, so anyone can watch it and like get this experience of what are the essential youth skills in 21st century. And we will end this session in this amazing session session with the closing remark of our very own Shafiqul Islam sir, the director of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. Over to you, sir. You are muted.
Sorry, I always forget it. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, it was very amazing session, and I like to extend my heartiest thanks to Bandana, Anchal, Hemi Hussein, Abhishek, and Shourav Islam. That they contributed a lot, and I think this session we come to know what is going to be reality, what would be the skill set of the youth, what is the need of the skill sets for this the fourth industrial era, and we have to prepare for that. This is the important that this session, I think it will give some thinking in our mind, and we could be think about it. We could take the uh, action that the said Hemis Club, that immediate action on it, and this then it would be the success of our this discussion. I hope we'll get be benefited from this discussion, and I like to thanks again to our discussion, and also William Dar. Thank you, thank
Thank
you
you,
all
sir.
of you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and all our speakers. I hope we will work together in near future. Like as I have said, the whole idea is to organize this webinar or the series of live session is to create a sustainable platform which is beyond 20. So through which we will be connected and we will share our thoughts and opinions, and we can start some collaborative works through this. So with this note, we are closing this session and hope to see you guys soon. And we will come back again after 1 hour with our closing session of day one. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Imran.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Assalamu
Thank
alaikum.
you very much.
Bye-bye.